In this video, I'm gonna show you 5 interesting chess traps for black that you can use to trick your opponents and win easily. So let's get started. So after e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, he goes d4. Then here you just take this pawn, and after they go bishop c4. Many players have difficulty against playing this opening. So here's how you can defeat this opening. You go for bishop c5, and after the castle, you just go d6. They will go knight g5, attacking this pawn and threatening a fork to your queen and rook, which will what most players will play. Then knight e5 defends this pawn and attacks the bishop. Bishop b3, still maintaining this pressure. Then you just move the knight away by playing h6. And here you don't want to go back because you can play bishop g4 and it will damage his pawn structure. Similarly, if he goes here, then you will eliminate the knight. And now this is quite bad for white. Therefore, he might try queen h5, attacking this pawn and also pinning this pawn. But you are going to just play queen f6. He will go f4, trying to be even more aggressive. Then you play d3, discovered check. But he can just move the king. Now you play g6, hitting the queen. He can't take, otherwise back rank checkmate. Therefore, queen to d1. Now you will take his knight, and after he takes your knight, then here we just finish the game with rook takes h2, sacrificing the rook. You got a take, then you check with the queen, and after king g3, you play queen h4 check, king f3, and then queen to g4. Is a checkmate. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4 c5, knight f3 e6, he goes d4, then you take, then after he takes, now you play a6. Bishop f4 seems like a natural developing move. Then you just play e5, sacrificing the pawn. You got to take because you don't want to lose his knight, but then you have queen to a5 check. And then you will just take the bishop and you're up a piece and winning. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4, you go for c6, the Caro card defense, then d4, d5, and after knight c3, you just take. He takes, then you go for knight f6. He takes here, then you recapture, and after he goes bishop c4, developing the bishop, you play queen e7 check. If he blocks with the knight, then you will give this check and pick up the bishop, and you're winning in just 7 moves. But what if he tries queen e2? Then you just develop the bishop. This sets up the trap. If he takes this bishop, then you can just take, and after he takes, you take, and this is quite equal. But here if he plays bishop e3, preparing to castle long, then you give him a check, and then again you pick up the bishop, and this is again winning for black here. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, you just play f5. You don't want to take because you can push, so d3. Then you play bishop c5, and after he goes knight g5, threatening a fork on f7, you just go f4. Now, you gotta play knight f7, then you just play queen h4, attacking this pawn. So g3, but then you can play queen to s3, sacrificing this rook. He will capture the free rook, then you play d5, striking in the center. But your main idea is to open up the bishop, and no matter how he takes, bishop g4. If he goes queen d2, then you bring in the knight, and now black is completely winning. Therefore here, he will try f3, but then you will play f takes g3, sacrificing this bishop. He takes, then you push this pawn, attacking the rook. So rook g1, but then you just take the rook. Queen e2, he will take. And now this is just completely winning for black here. Let's say he plays knight d2, then you can make a new queen and checkmate black easily. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, he goes knight takes e5, then knight c6, and after he takes, he just recapture e5, attacks the knight, knight to e4, and after d3 hitting this knight even further. Now you just play bishop to c5, threatening a fork on f2. So you gotta take the knight. Now don't trade the queens. Instead, you play bishop takes f2. If he captures the free bishop, then his queen is gone. Therefore, king e2 defends the queen. But then you play bishop g4 check, and then you can just take his queen and you're winning. Well, if you enjoyed these chess traps, then don't forget to give this video a like, and here are some more amazing chess traps like these. and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more of these videos.